Welcome everyone. Today we are going to cover one of the most important units from your MMPC001 MBA course, Staffing and Directing, two critical functions of management that together ensure an organization not only gets the right people, but also gets them to perform at their best. We will walk through the staffing process, recruitment and selection, training and development, and then move into directing and all its key elements, including supervision, communication, leadership, and motivation, everything you need to ace your exam. Let us start with staffing. At its simplest, staffing means finding the right person for the right job at the right time. It is not just about hiring, it is a comprehensive process that spans job design, recruitment, selection, placement, training, performance appraisal, and retention. Now, what is the nature of staffing? First, it is a managerial function performed at all levels of the organization, not just by the HR department, but by every manager who oversees a team. Second, it is people centered, meaning it deals entirely with human resources, which makes it both the most important and the most complex function. Third, staffing is a continuous process. It does not stop once you have filled a vacancy. As people retire, resign, or get promoted, staffing begins again. Fourth, it is pervasive, meaning it applies to every kind of organization, whether a school, a hospital, a factory, or a multinational corporation. Fifth, it is shaped by both internal factors like organizational structure and external factors like the labor market and legal environment. Why does staffing matter? Because it ensures the right people are in the right positions. It leads to optimum utilization of human resources. It improves overall organizational performance. It reduces employee turnover and absenteeism. And ultimately, it builds a competent and motivated workforce that can drive the organization forward. Now, let us walk through staffing process step by step. And you should remember this using the mnemonic HRSPTAR. The first step is human resource planning or HRP, where managers forecast the organization's future manpower needs and conduct a gap analysis between the current workforce and what is required. The second step is recruitment, which is a positive process of attracting as many qualified candidates as possible from various sources. The third step is selection, which is actually a negative process. You are eliminating unsuitable candidates and choosing the best fit. The fourth step is placement and induction, where the selected candidate is assigned to the appropriate job and oriented into the organization's culture, rules, and work environment. The fifth step is training and development, where employees are equipped with the skills and knowledge they need for their current roles and prepared for future responsibilities. The sixth step is performance appraisal, where employee performance is evaluated against preset standards and the results inform decisions about promotions, increments, transfers, and further training. The seventh and final step is retention and separation, which involves retaining high performing talent through incentives and good work culture, while also managing exits through retirement, transfers, or termination in a professional and legally compliant manner. Moving on to recruitment in greater detail, there are two broad categories of sources. Internal sources are those from within the organization itself. Promotion means moving an existing employee to a higher level position, which boosts morale and rewards loyalty. Transfer means shifting an employee across departments or locations without necessarily changing their rank. Employee referrals involve existing staff recommending people they know, which often results in better cultural fits. Recall or rehire means bringing back a former employee whose skills are again needed. External sources, on the other hand, bring in fresh talent from outside. Advertisement through newspapers, job portals, and the company website is the most common method. Campus recruitment involves visiting colleges and universities to hire fresh graduates. Employment agencies, both government and private, help match candidates with organizations. Walk-ins and unsolicited applications are direct approaches by job seekers. The key distinction to remember for your exam is this. Internal sources are cost-effective and boost employee morale but offer a limited talent pool. Whereas external sources bring a wider choice and fresh perspectives, but come at a higher cost and take more time. Now let us look at the selection process, which has 7 steps. The process begins with application screening, where CVs and application forms are reviewed against the job specification to create a shortlist. Next comes the preliminary interview, A quick, informal conversation designed to eliminate candidates who are clearly unsuitable before investing more time. Then come employment tests, which may include aptitude tests, personality assessments, intelligence tests, or technical skill evaluations depending on the role. This is followed by the selection interview, the most important step, which may be structured with predetermined questions, unstructured and conversational, or conducted by a panel of interviewers. After that, reference and background checks verify the candidate's credentials, past employment history, and character. A medical examination follows to confirm the candidate is physically fit for the role, especially important in labor intensive or safety critical positions. Finally, the job offer and appointment is made, a formal offer letter is issued, the contract is signed, and the candidate is placed in their role. Remember the critical distinction: recruitment is a positive process that attracts candidates, while selection is a negative process that filters and eliminates until only the best remains. Let us now discuss training and development, which prepares employees to perform effectively in their roles. There are two broad categories. On the job, training happens at the actual workplace while the employee is doing real work. Apprenticeship involves learning a trade or skill under the supervision of an experienced master, commonly used in technical fields. Job rotation moves employees across different departments or functions, giving them a broad understanding of the organization. Coaching involves one on one mentoring by a supervisor, helping an employee improve specific skills. Internships provide structured practical experience, usually for fresh entrants. Committee assignments place employees in working groups or task forces to develop their decision making and collaborative abilities. Off the job training, on the other hand, takes place away from the actual work environment. Classroom lectures are the most traditional method, providing theoretical knowledge. The case study method involves analyzing real business situations to develop analytical and problem solving skills. Role playing asks trainees to act out workplace scenarios to build interpersonal and situational skills. Vestibule training simulates the actual work environment in a separate facility so employees can practice without affecting real operations. Seminars and workshops bring groups together for expert led discussions and learning. Now, the second major topic of this unit: directing. If staffing is about getting the right people into the organization, directing is about ensuring those people actually work towards the organization's goals. Directing is managerial function of guiding, leading, instructing, and supervising employees to accomplish organizational objectives. In short, it converts plans into action by activating people. Key characteristics of directing: it initiates action. It is the function that actually sets the organization in motion and translates all the planning and organizing into real work. It is a continuous process. Managers must direct their teams every single day, not just occasionally. It is pervasive, performed by managers at every level, from the CEO to the frontline supervisor. It has a strong human element. It deals directly with people who are the most complex, unpredictable, and valuable resource in any organization. It flows top down, from higher authority to subordinates through the hierarchy. And finally, it integrates efforts. It aligns individual goals with organizational goals so that everyone is working in the same direction. Directing has four key elements: SCLM: supervision, communication, leadership, and motivation. Supervision is the first element and involves overseeing the work of subordinates, issuing clear instructions, guiding them through problems, and maintaining discipline and performance standards. First line managers and supervisors are the primary practitioners of this function, forming the crucial link between management and the workforce. Communication is the process of transmitting information, orders, policies, decisions, and feedback between individuals and groups within the organization. Communication can be formal, following the official channels of the organizational hierarchy, or informal, such as the grapevine. It flows in three directions: downward from superior to subordinate, upward from subordinate to superior, and lateral or horizontal between peers. Barriers to communication, such as noise, poor language, emotional bias, or information overload, must be actively identified and minimized to ensure effectiveness. Leadership is the third element and refers to the ability to influence and inspire others to work willingly and enthusiastically towards organizational goals. There are three classic leadership styles you must know. Autocratic leadership is where the leader makes all decisions unilaterally, with no input from employees. It works well in crisis situations or with unskilled workers who need clear direction, but it lowers morale and kills creativity. Democratic leadership, also called participative leadership, involves the team in decision making, which leads to higher morale, better solutions, and a sense of ownership, though it can slow down decisions. Laissez faire or free rein leadership is where the leader delegates fully and allows employees to work independently with minimal supervision. It works best with highly skilled, self motivated professionals such as researchers and specialists, but it can lead to chaos if the team lacks discipline and direction. A great leader combines the right traits: confidence, vision, empathy, decisiveness, and the ability to adapt their style to the situation. Motivation is the fourth and perhaps most important element of directing. It refers to the inner psychological drive that energizes and directs a person's behavior towards achieving a goal. Motivation can be financial, such as pay, bonuses, profit sharing, and allowances, or non financial, such as recognition, job enrichment, autonomy, and opportunities for growth. Two motivation theories are absolutely essential for your exam. Maslow's hierarchy of needs proposes that human needs are arranged in a five-level pyramid and that people are motivated by unsatisfied needs. At the base are physiological needs: food, shelter, pay. Above that are safety needs, job security, health insurance. Then comes social needs: belonging, teamwork, friendship. Next are esteem needs: recognition, status, respect. At the top is self actualization, the need to reach one's full potential through creative and meaningful work. The managerial implication is clear. Once a lower level need is satisfied, it no longer motivates. Managers must understand where each employee is on the hierarchy and address their current unmet need. Herzberg's two factor theory divides factors in the workplace into two categories. Motivators or satisfiers are intrinsic to the job itself: achievement, recognition, the work itself, responsibility, and advancement, and their presence actively increases job satisfaction and motivates employees. Hygiene factors or dissatisfiers are extrinsic: company policy, quality of supervision, salary, working conditions, and job security. And while their absence causes dissatisfaction, their presence alone does not motivate, they merely prevent dissatisfaction. The key distinction Hausberg makes is that salary and job security keep people from being unhappy but do not make them truly motivated. That comes only from meaningful work, growth, and recognition. Together, Maslow and Herzberg give managers a powerful framework for understanding and addressing employee motivation. Now, for your exam strategy, here are the six questions most likely to appear and how you should structure your answers. When asked to define staffing and explain its characteristics and importance, open with a crisp definition, list the five characteristics, and then elaborate on why staffing matters to organizational success. When asked to explain the staffing process, use the HRS PTAR framework and describe each of the seven steps clearly. When asked to differentiate between on the job and off the job training, present a clean tabular comparison with definitions and examples. When asked about directing, define it, describe its six characteristics, and then explain all four elements SCLM in detail. When asked to compare leadership styles, cover all three styles with their contexts, advantages and disadvantages, and include real world examples. When asked about Maslow's or Herzberg's theory, draw the diagram if possible, name each level or factor, and relate it practically to how an Indian manager might apply it.